Hipper here. So it's been a while since I did the last community update, and I thought I'd do another one now because a lot of things are going on at the moment. But first, need to put our hat on here, so it's all in character. Now, first of all, I just want to make sure everyone's aware of the offer in the store at the moment. It's called, I think it's called Hyper Medalista or something like that. And it's pretty much just a mission you buy for 3 million silver that allows you to get like an insignia, some steel, and I think there's a commendation in there as well, which is a big thing. It's only 3 million silver, so you should definitely buy it. There's not really any question. And I'll just change my head because this one's really, really tall, so that's better. Next up, I just want to mention that I'm sure you all know that there will be an update stream on Monday by the Wargaming guys, the wonderful community managers here. And yeah, tune in and get a bit of a taste for the new update that I think is pretty disappointing actually, but we'll get to that later. Next up, I just want to mention that there's the last arena season for this update, so get in there if you want some steel. I believe it's 13, and I'm not really sure what tier it is, but I'm sure you'll figure out if you just log into the game. And talking of the current update, there's also this is the last chance to get the Belfast 43 in the current campaign. Finishes on Monday. Sure you all know that also. So if you want that wonderful ship that no one seems to like, including myself, yeah, well then go ahead and pay the 2,500 doubloons and keep it in your port forever. And then there's a few new premiums. There's the Miyogi, a Japanese premium battleship that's available, and I haven't heard good things about it. I haven't played it myself, so I'm not gonna comment, but in the CC Discord I haven't heard much good about it, so I don't know. I'm not gonna judge because I haven't played it anyway. What I have played, on the other hand, is the Swedish or the Pan-European premium destroyer at tier 6, the Skåne. And if you like the Pan-European destroyers, you should definitely get that one because it's just so much better than the tier 6, and perhaps it's even, you know, like about the same level as the tier 7. I don't know, I haven't played the tier 7 yet. Get to that on Monday. But the tier 6 is definitely better than the Tech 3 tier 6. So I would consider it if you're into that. Alright, and then I just want to touch upon the big huge news here that was given to us a few days ago, and that's obviously the fact that tier 8 is coming. And a lot of people ask me, what do you think about tier 8? And I think it's a great idea. I think it's, well, first of all, it gives me a bunch of new cruisers to put agile builds on. Yay. And secondly, it insulates legendary tier from tier 7, which means that tier 7 will be better again. And that will benefit ships like especially Charles Martel, which has a pretty hard time dealing with the legendary battleships, and also Alaska. So I think tier 8 is a great thing, and I really can't wait for it to actually happen. Alright, and also another thing we need to keep in mind that's available on Monday is SAP for the Italian cruisers, or semi-armor piercing shells. I think that's going to be a great addition, especially for ships like Gorizia, which has, 203mm guns. I can't wait to see how SAP works on that ship. I think it's going to be awesome. The others are going to be, interesting as well, but what I really want to see is how like a heavy cruiser actually handles those shells. I think it's going to be awesome. I hope you can one-shot DDs by, getting all your guns on target. That would be awesome in Gorizia, but who knows? We'll see how it goes. Wargaming did say that they might actually overperform in the beginning, but who knows? Again, we'll see how it goes. It's exciting nonetheless. Something new in the game, and that isn't just, new ships. I mean, we had a few of those, and we need something else. We need new commanders and something that changes the gameplay like SEP. So that's a good thing. Alright, and let's also look into the new patch notes while we're here anyway. We might as well do that, so I'll just go through it. And I'm sure you've seen all the patch note reveal videos already, but Anyway, I'm going to go through it again and you can get my take on it. So here we go. Alright, so we pretty much made it to the June 2022 update here, and it's Independence Day themed. And it's pretty much just a standard campaign, really, 5 weeks, running until July 25th. And as usual, there's lots of goodies to obtain along the way, so definitely play through it, even if you don't get the Admiral backing. When you finish, I assume when you finish, you can choose between the Tier 7 Premium Destroyer, the Black, or the Tier 5 Premium Aircraft Carrier, the Independence. And I know some people are going to have a really tough time choosing between these ships. I'm not, although I'm going to get Black, that's for sure. But if you want to, you can buy the second ship outright after finishing the campaign. So obviously it would make sense to pick Black as your campaign ship and then buy the Independence, because it's probably going to be cheaper being a Tier 5. But I'm guessing here, I don't know that for sure. So keep that in mind. Next up, there's going to be another Bureau project, and it'll reward you with 2 camouflages here. Pretty weird looking if you ask me, but if that's your thing, by all means, go for it. I think that project would only be available until the 25th though, so be quick. Next up, there's going to be the Tier 7 Östergötland, which is the creme de la creme of the pan-European destroyer line. I'm really excited to try this ship here out and see especially how it compares to the Tier 6 Premium, the Skåne, like I mentioned earlier. So I guess we'll find out on Monday. Next up, there's some changes to the economy at the especially Tier 7, because the Tier 7 Premium ships are going to have a huge bonus increased from 15% to 55%. So Tier 7 is going to be a really good silver making tier, and also the service fee is going to be lowered a little bit. I don't agree with that, but let's just leave it at that. So anyway, Tier 6 and Tier 7 are going to be really good silver making tiers starting from this update here. Then there will be an exotic pan-European battleship that I myself have never heard about, and that's weird because I am European. But anyway, there it is, and it'll be available for doubloons, I'm assuming. Alright, and next up, there's going to be some few balance changes here, and that's what I want to stick around and look at for a bit here. So a Kit is going to get the defensive AA fire consumable, so it's going to make that ship pretty good for, you know, whacking those carrier planes. It's already pretty good, but with that consumable, it's going to be really great. Nagato is also gonna get a little buff, but really nobody cares about that. So we're just gonna move on to Azuma, which is the interesting part here. Like, I hate Azuma, and it's going to get a massive buff, like incredibly, pretty crazy buff actually. And it's not gonna change the ship for me because I still think it's super boring, and it just plays like a battleship. And this buff doesn't look like it's gonna do anything to change that. So every time, well, when I want to play Azuma, I think, and I, you know, contemplate, and I think, why don't I just play Yamato instead? And I always end up playing Yamato instead, because, yeah. Anyway, so if you have Azuma, I've sold it a long time ago, and perhaps I'll ask Wargaming to reinstate it, but probably not. I mean, nothing can save that ship, in my opinion. As promised a while ago, the Italian battleships are also getting a bit of a buff, which is going to be awesome. And especially the fact that Roma is going to get the smoke generator, which is available on Vittorio Veneto. And that's going to make the Roma a lot more viable to play, really. I haven't really played it since Veneto came out. So, yeah. Other than that, also an extra repair party and some nice slight buffs to HE damage and damage control and stuff like that. It's not just Roma, it's also Conte di Cavour and Dorio and Vittorio Veneto. So a pretty comprehensive buff there. Overall, I think this update is pretty disappointing, just like every update we've had since Christmas. So hopefully the next one where we get Tier 8 will be good, because otherwise, yeah, I'm getting a little tired. Anyway, the best thing about this update is the SAP shells for Italian cruisers. Absolutely. Well, there's not really anything else interesting in the update at all, but let's not go into that. SAP shells, I can't wait to test it out, and I think everybody is also quite excited to actually try it. Just note here that Abruzzi, if you put sap shells on it, it will actually increase the reload. Just keep that in mind. So that's why I'm not that interested in that ship anymore. I'm going to focus all my efforts on Gorizia, which is my favorite of the premium Italians. Alright, so guys, that was the end of this community update, and I hope you enjoyed it. I think there'll be a lot more to discuss next month when we get the tier 8 cruisers, battleships, destroyers, whatever we get. I'm assuming we'll get some of all, and I'll definitely dig right into it and start testing them all with, well, all the cruisers at least, with agile builds and see how they go. So that'll definitely be interesting. So make sure you watch the next community update as well. It should be about a month away. And anyway, so hope to see you out there, guys, and hope you enjoyed this video.